Okay, so I'm going to do a series of about 8 videos. This first video, we're just going to look at when we're spelling, what are some key things, some key tricks that we can use to improve, some key techniques that we can use to improve our spelling. One of the first things is being able to sound out our words. When we sound out our words, okay, I just started as if, y'all gotta forgive me. Greetings, this is another video for Niaja. This video is going to specifically focus on phonics and means to help us improve our spelling, right? Because that's something that we each have to do. I still struggle with it sometimes, and it can be the simplest words, and I'll still misspell it. So one of the things that we want to do is kind of figure out in the earlier stages, what are some habits that we can develop to help us spell better? Okay, so before we do that, let me take a roll call. Tell me who's blessed. You are. Tell me who's intelligent. You are. Tell me who has the mind of Christ. You do. Tell me whose mind has been renewed. Yours has. So tell me who is a brilliant and beautiful gifted scholar. You are. That's right. Okay, so now, having said that, let's kind of take a look at what are some things that we need to know. First things first, I have a word list. This is a fourth grade word list, and this is pretty early in the year. This is a list from earlier in the year. So I know for Niaja, my daughter, we've had a really, really rough year, and I know that you may not have heard all of these words before, but it's not that you're not capable, and it's not that you're not able to do the work. I know that you are. It's been really rough, and it's been really difficult, and I just apologize for my part in that, Niaja, because I apologize for my part in that. All right, so let's take a look at some of the words. Okay, so now we have the word bridge, we have the word gravity, we have the word hungry, we have the word eclipse, we have the word secret, we have the word glance, we have the word laundry, we have the word attract, switch, and trouble. Okay, so some of the words have one syllable, meaning there's one whole sound, and some of the words have two syllables. So that means if you broke it down, you would hear two, you get two, at least two syllables, right? So like hungry, that's two syllables. Hungry, okay? So the Y is functioning like an E, right? And we hear it, it's making the long E sound, and it's at the end of the word. So we have two syllables. Our first syllable is Hun, hun, and our second syllable is gree. Okay? Now, in our second syllable, in both syllables, we hear blends. Now, blends are when letters work together to make one sound. Okay? So, un, un. UN is a blend. Un, un. Just like gr, 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 dr, gr. So, gr, gr. So those are two. So if we were to decode or break down that word, those are two sounds that we can hear off the top. If we hear hun, we know that to un, gr, gr, we know that that blend is gr. So even if we didn't remember all of the words, we know that un, gr, we know ungr. Okay, then it's a matter of us figuring out, what's the beginning sound? Which letter makes that sound? H, right? So we have un-gr-e. Now, the Y is tricky because at the end of the word, it sounds like the letter E. It sounds like it's making the long E sound. But one thing that we know, right, is if it's a multi-syllable word, the Y sounds like an E. Hungry, money, funny, honey, right? Each one of those words are at least two syllables, and the Y sounds like an E, right? But if Y is at the end of a one syllable word, like fly or buy or tie or my, Y sounds like an I, Okay? And so, and sometimes it sounds like its own sound, and it says yeah, right? So as we read more, that's why reading is so important. You become more familiar with your vocabulary, and as you become more ugh, as you become more familiar with your vocabulary, specifically words that you will read frequently at your grade level, you will be able to recognize them automatically. Okay? So then that's why reading is so important, because if you're not reading, you're not practicing. Okay? So now let's go back and take a look at what we have here. Let's look at our word list again. Our first word is bridge. Bridge. You see, one way that you can count your syllables is by the number of times your mouth moves up and down while it's saying one word. So it's a bridge, bridge. Or we can clap, bridge, right? So we know it's a one syllable word, right? Now, but the interesting thing about bridge is even though it's a one syllable word, it still does some interesting things here. It has a blend in it, and even though the I is making a short I sound, eh, eh, there is a silent E at the end of the word. Isn't that funny? Because usually silent E is so bossy that if it's at the end of a word, it's going to make the vowel, it's going to make at least one vowel say its name. But in this case, it said, hey, I can play the background. I don't have to tell everyone, I don't have to tell the vowels what to do all the time. I need a break sometimes too. So in bridge, the word bridge, E is taking a break. And E is not, silent E is not telling anybody what to do. Silent E is minding its own business, okay? So now, that's the word bridge. It's spelled Bridge, okay? Now, the interesting thing is there's a D and a G together. But when we hear it, we hear bridge. We don't hear the D. But if the D wasn't there, the word will be brig or bridge. Bridge. But the word is bridge. Bridge. So it makes us do this thing with our neck. Bridge. Bridge. Because you're pronouncing the D, but it's not pronounced. It's not like a dominant sound in the word. It means it doesn't have a very strong presence in the word. Even though it's there, it's silent. It's kind of quiet. Say, hey, I'm chilling with E. We don't have to do a whole bunch of talking. People know we're here because the word changes if we don't, if they don't recognize us. Okay? So now, let's look at that word again. It starts out with the blend BR. Brr, brr, brr. Then we go to that short I sound. Eh, eh, eh. Then we hear J. Now, it almost sounds like it's actually, the G is actually making a soft G sound. J, J. Soft G sounds like J, J. Hard G sounds like G, G. Okay? So the G is making a soft G sound, but the D is silent before it, and together they make that bridge, bridge, J. So the D is there, it's right before the G, right? And so, and then we have a silent E. Okay? So bridge, 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 bridge. Very good. Okay, let's look at our next word. Gravity. Tell me some, let's think about some of the sounds we hear. Gr, gr. So it's starting off with the blend. Gr, ah, ah, v, v, eh, eh, t, t. Now, that long E can be just an E that's long, or it can be two E's together, or it can be the letter Y. In this case, it's again at the end of a word. And at the end of a multisyllabic word, Y sounds like an E. Okay? So we have gravity, gravity, gravity. So gr, gr. We start with the blend. Gr, gr. What two letters make that sound when you put them together? Gr, gr, gr. That's right. G-R. Gr, gr. Ah, ah, ah. A. So you have gr, a, v, v, I, T. So we have G-R-A-V, short I, T-Y. Gravity. Gravity. Okay? Gravity. Gravity. Okay? Gravity. Gravity. Very good. Now, we haven't gotten into definitions. We're just looking at the words, okay? And how to spell them. Our next word, hungry. 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 Okay? Hungry. Okay? So again, we have that H at the beginning. H kind of pants, like I'm tired. Okay? H is always tired. So H, un, U, N, U, N. That's a blend. Un, U, N. Gr, gr, gr. There's another blend. G, R, gr, as in group, or greed, or grab, or gross, right? Or gray, okay? And then Y. And at the end of a multisyllabic word, Y sounds like E, okay? So we have hungry, hungry, okay? H-U-N-G-R-Y, hungry, hungry. Very good. Are you still with me? We're at 12 minutes here, and we only gotten through the first 3 words, okay? All right, let's look at our next word. We have eclipse, eclipse, okay? E, so we know that the word is starting out with what? The long E sound, right? Because we hear it. E right off the top. E is saying, hey, I'm here. I'm here. So anytime you hear a vowel saying its name, you want to start looking for a silent E, or you can expect to see a silent E. There are exceptions, but you can expect that there's a silent E at the end of the word, okay? So this word starts out with the long vowel sound, the letter E. E, E, eclipse. So now we have clips, cl, 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 clips. So there's another blend. C-L, C-L, E-cl, C-L, eh, 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 eh. We have a short I sound. Eh, eh, eh. Ps, ps. So P-S. So now let's put it all together. We have E-C-L-I-P-S-E. Now, there are a couple things that we can do. Eclipse is a multisyllabic word. So look at what happens when I say a multisyllabic word, like gravity, right? Gravity, right? Gravity. How many syllables is that? 3. Very good. So gravity or hungry. How many syllables? 2. I know this is easy peasy. This is stuff that you've done already. I get it. I know. But I have to review it just for the sake of instruction. Eclipse. 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 How many syllables is that? Eclipse. 2. Watch what happens with my mouth. Eclipse. Eclipse. 2 syllables. So we have E and I. Those are our 2 dominant vowel sounds that separate the syllables. The long E in the beginning and the short I in the second. Okay? And now, since we have a long E at the beginning of the word, there's a silent E at the end of the word. Remember I told you silent E is pretty bossy and it loves to tell the other vowels what to do? Well, it's telling the E, hey, look, since I'm here, now you have to say your name because they have to be able to know the difference. You're at the beginning, I'm at the end. I'm not saying anything, but you better speak up and let them know that, hey, E's are in the building and we represent them. Okay? So That's why that's important. Okay, so the E is silent at the end, and the E in the beginning is long. Okay, so now let's look at the next word. Secret. Secret. Okay, secret. Secret. How many syllables is that? That's right, 2 syllables. Secret. Okay, now why is that important? Because we have another blend. And we have a long E. Now, this is another word where there is a vowel saying its name, but there isn't a silent E at the end of the word. I told you there are exceptions. It's the English language. Nothing I can do about it, right? But when we have that, so we have here secret, secret, okay? So the first E is long. Okay, eclipse. We have a long E. Then we have a blend, okay? And blends are important because they make our life easier. Because if we get 2 for the price of 1. So you have secret. Now, the word has 2 E's in it, but the second E is a short E. The first E is a long E. So that's how you know the difference. Long E means the vowel is saying its name. Short means it's making it sound. Eh, eh, eh. Remember, E says eh, eh, right? Okay. So that's what's going on here. So now, our next word is glance. 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 Right? So now, let's look at that word. We got a couple things going on here. We start out with the blend. Gl. Did I spell secret? So secret is S-E-C-R-E-T. Eclipse is E-C-L-I-P-S-E. Hungry is H-U-N-G-R-Y. And gravity is Gravity. Bridge is Bridge. So bridge is Bridge. Gravity is Gravity. Hungry is Hungry. And eclipse, is Eclipse. Secret is Secret. Okay. Glance is Glance. Glance spells glance. Now, let's look at our next word. This word is kind of tricky. So anytime we're trying to figure out words, we want to decode and find out if there are any smaller words. So like in the word glance, in addition to having a blend at the beginning, they have the smaller word and, and. So sometimes if you're not certain, you can look at some of the other words in the word family. So another word that it rhymes with. Glance rhymes with dance. Glance, dance. So even if you don't remember how to spell glance, or you don't know how to spell glance, if you remember how to spell dance, you can put it together. Now, how many syllables does glance have? Glance. Glance. That's right. It's 1 syllable. Okay? So now, let's look at the word laundry. 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 Right? We have Laundry. 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 So we have another blend, and it's DR. All right, and you have lawn. All right, so laundry is Laundry. 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 Lawn. La, 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 L, la, ah, ah. Not but like awesome. Yeah, so it's that hard A sound. Short A would be ah, ah, ah. Hard A is ah, ah. Un, un, un. Very good. Now we have dr, dr. That's dr. E, e. So Y is sounding like E because it's coming at the end of a two-syllable word. Okay? So we have laundry. So let's go back over our list so far. We have bridge, we have gravity, we have hungry, we have eclipse, we have secret, we have glance, we have laundry. Laundry. All right, let's look at our next word. Attract. Attract. So again, laundry is Laundry. It sounds like lawn dry. I mean, it looks like lawn dry because the smaller word in there is dry, dry. Laundry. Attract. 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 Now we have a blend in here. We have TR. And we have a smaller word, AT. Okay? ATTRACT. 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 Very good. So let's look at our next word. Switch. 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 So now, CH is a blend, just like SW is a blend. So we have SWITCH. Now, the T is kind of silent because switch, you really don't hear it. It's not like T. It's not a hard T in there, but it's there. And it makes the word, it's there in the pronunciation, even if you can't see it directly or hear it directly. Switch. Because it makes you give the CH, the sound. Excuse me. So the spelling is SWITCH. Attract is ATTRACT. Laundry is LAUNDRY. Glance is GLANCE. Secret, SECRET. Eclipse, ECLIPSE. Hungry, HUNGRY. Gravity, GRAVITY. Bridge, BRIDGE. Okay. We're looking at our last word for today is trouble. 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 Now trouble has two blends. It has BL and it also has TR. Okay. And so they come together. Ooh. And the OU is a vowel pair. OU often works together. So we have a blend and we have a silent E. Okay. And the interesting thing is we have a silent E, but we have no letter saying its name. Trouble. It's not trouble, it's trouble. So that's it. If it's a multisyllabic word, it means that it has more than one syllable, right? And blends are groups of letters that work together to make one sound, okay? And the other rule of thumb that we can ascertain from this particular word list is remembering that at the end of a word that has two syllables or more, Y is going to sound like the letter E, usually. So having said that, I'm going to stop this particular video because we're almost at 25 minutes. I want to let you know that I love and appreciate you. I think that you're amazing and you're brilliant and you can do anything you put your mind to, especially read and spell, okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. I can't wait to see you and I'll talk to you soon.